Okay, welcome to the stream, guys. We are live with Malta versus Netherlands. I believe it's the third game. It's a crane mirror match, and we have DaidojiDominic for Malta playing on crane, and we have Erik standing in a sub for Niels on Netherlands. I'm just going to quickly bring up the deck list while the game has already started. So we have Erik is playing on Neil's deck, which is Dragon Splash, free let go to Hawk Tattoos, and we have a Lion Splash from the multiplayer with 3 ready for battle, 3 Legion for 1. Not so many conflict characters and no attachments. Very event heavy, so I guess it's got including Game of Sudan and Test of Skill. Okay, so now we'll just get into it. So the buy phase, Erik opened with a Guest of Honor, starting second, and we see Cautious Scout, Brush Samurai, and Savvy Politician from Dominic. And both players bid 5, and we see a Wave Crane first action conflict phase to honor the Savvy Politician and the Cautious Scout. Also, we see a Fabled Ground from Erik, so he can, if he wants, get the Guest of Honor into both conflicts or 2 conflicts, but we'll see what they do. Both players pass, so Dominic's now setting up to do his first attack. It's definitely not great for Dominic that Erik has opened Guest of Honor, considering Dominic's deck is 43 events. Wow, he's got a conflict deck of 45 there. So right now, like, no event is possible to be played. We do see him hit Fertile Fields, and he's contesting the Void Ring. And we see a defense from Erik to with the Guest of Honor, and he opens with Wear the Crane, which is really nice because Voice of Honor is currently turned off. So I expect we see quite just a defense from Erik this turn, but he does have 7 conflict characters himself, so there's always opportunity to crack back. Okay, so Dominic passes. It's 3-2 currently, winning the ring, but that's it. Dominic is also on 0 fate now. And we see a policy debate come up from Erik onto the Cautious Scout, which will give him insight into our hand. And the hand is Assassinate, Banzai, Charge, Court Games, Kami Unleash, Test of Skill, Waning Hostilities, and Way of the Crane. So potentially, okay, so Erik decides to discard Way of the Crane. And we actually see an Assassinate come out from Erik, knowing now that there's no Voice of Honor or anything, or not that it would have mattered, and he's kills the Cautious Scout. He now uses fertile fields to draw a card and then favorable grounds to leave the conflict, knowing that there's no possibility for any counterplay by Dominic. Erik decides to pass his conflict. And we see Dominic getting ready for a political conflict if he wants. Oh, my bad. Oh. Okay, so we do see another void conflict, political on 2 fertile fields from Dominic, with just a savvy politician. Now, what type of defense will we see from Erik? Erik does not defend, probably looking to concerned about the favor as Samurai, Breast Samurai was standing for 2 honor. Potentially going to let this ring go. There's no card that will get the break here, so Dominic gets the void ring and removes 1 fate from the guest of honor. Now Erik's going to attack back, political going earth, and he hits shameful display. Dominic defends with the Breast Samurai and activates shameful. And we see a ornate fan come on the guest of honor from Erik, threatening the break now. And we see the pass from Erik because you can't play any cards, and a break and Banzai is discarded at random. Fate Phase pass through, Dominic's board wipes, and the favor is unclaimed. Definitely Erik in a really strong position right now. Like I said, this guest of honor versus Dominic's deck is just brutal. And I believe he kept the challenger. I didn't actually see that. And he plays the challenger with 3 fate, Erik does. And Dominic is in a bit of a difficult position because his flip isn't that great. He did keep the Kazan, but he plays the Artisan with 1 fate. guess we will see a pass from Erik here. Unless he really wants to up the aggression, he decides to play the Whisperer for 1 fate. And then we see Dominic play the Callow Delegate. Erik passes to gain the passing fate. I guess Erik just knew that his opponent would have to play something else, so felt very safe taking the Whisperer. Okay, so we see a 1 bid from Dominic and a 2 bid from Erik. Did they both bid 5 in the first turn? I think they did, right? Dominic plays Waning Hostilities to try and stem the bleeding and slow the game down a bit so you can stabilize. Probably looking to get a Void or Guest of Honor to remove it from the board. Okay, we see a big attack coming from Erik for the Air Ring. Looking to move out of honor issues. Okay, so he only goes in with Challenger and Whisperer. We see a Political Air out onto Frostbitten Crossing. And we see a light defense from Dominic with the Delegate. And then activation with the Artisan to give it +3 to make it 4. And then we see Doji Challenger move in Cousin. And is still winning. Okay, so Kusan initiates a draw. Both players bid 1. Draw ends in a draw. And Erik uses the Stronghold to battle Kazin. Dominic obviously hoping to lose the draw there and get sent home. Okay, Dominic now plays Test of Skill and reveals Kami Unleashed, Court Games, Soul Beyond Prompt, ready for battle, and it's going to take Court Games, Soul Beyond Reproach, and put discard Kami Unleashed and ready for battle. I mean, the province isn't breaking, so there is one of his 2 Kami Unleashed though, so probably definitely don't want to see that discarded. Okay, and Erik uses Way of the Crane to honor challenger. Now we see an assassinate come out from Dominic, but it's instantly voice of honored. Yeah, it's unfortunate the sequence in there. The assassinate just but now he uses court games. He could have potentially court games before the assassinate to bait out the way of the crane at the voice of honor and then assassinated. But Derek wins, Erik wins and gains 2 honor. And then Dominic passes his conflict action, Erik passes. I must have missed that at the beginning. They must have passed all of their conflicts. It was waning hostilities, of course. Okay, so for Erik, we see another Whisperer, a Challenger, and Narishma, and a Storehouse. And he buys the Narishma 1 Fate. And on Dominic's side, we see Brashhammer, Whisperer, Asani, and I didn't see the last card, but 2 Asanis. And he buys the Asani and dupes her, buys the Brash Samurai, and we see another Doji Whisperer from Erik with 1 Fate and Doji Whisperer from Dominic. So. Okay, and now we see back in the draw, Dominic's still bidding 1, Erik bids 4. Not really sure what Dominic's trying to do here. With the low bids, I guess really pressure Erik for honor, but because of the airing last round, Erik really doesn't mind too much and still bidding quite conservatively. But even after giving 3 honor is still on 5, so with the Storehouse he'll get up to 5 cards. Now we see a hand size of 11 to 6, so not only is Erik ahead on board and fate, but also on hand size as well. So Breath Samurai is getting ready to attack. He is going to look for a new province. And is looking to go firing for the 2 fate. And we see the military conflict for the firing at Magistrate Station. This is definitely not the province he wanted to see. It's going to allow Erik to potentially double attack with the Challenger this turn in the current board state. And I mean, the real strength of Magistrate Station is the fact you can use it outside of conflicts, outside of the conflict at it as well. So it's a free stand whenever you want. Oh well, and Erik uses Nourisher's ability and reveals a Fable Ground. And Erik does defend with Nourishma as well. And also has the military favor from the previous round. Okay, Breast Samurai honors himself. Now Eric's Voice of Honor is turned off. And we see a flying katana come down on the Erik side, on the Orisha, to take him up to 6. Okay, so we saw an assassinate on the Narisha, and then Erik uses his storehouse. Oh, and we see a Kami Unleashed come down into the conflict. I guess this will be instantly triggered to trigger the firing. But we see Doji Erik move in the challenger. And now we see Kami Unleashed used to dishonor the challenger. Erik plays a Soul Beyond Reproach to honor the Doji challenger. Potentially Voice of Honor here. No, it goes free. We've seen no Voice of Honors from Dominic yet. And Dominic passes and Erik wins the conflict. Now using Magistrate Station he can stand, and he does. Potentially Void or Earth here, both really good. Void to clear the board, Earth to keep the hand pressure up. Challenger's going to go in at Frostbite Crossing, and he's actually going to take Water for the 2 fate. And as its military artisan is not useful right now. It looks like he's going to defend with the Asani, which is also not ideal. Dominic's whole board is going to be bowed out now. So Erik decides not to pull anyone in with the challenger, probably because it's unnecessary, and just bows the Whisperer and breaks Frostbite and Crossing. I expect Dominic will pass his conflict here. He will, yeah. His artisan is honoured, so she does actually have 2 skill. Yeah, I'm curious why Challenger didn't bring anyone in. Could have just bowed out the whole board. And we do see Dominic pass his conflict. And he does reveal Magistrate Station. Which Dominic can use to stand his Breast Samurai. Which he does first action. However, it's not going to win him the favour. He could use Box to bow Whisperer, he does. And both players pass, and Magistrate Station is broken, and Void takes the last fate off Asani. And Dominic's board leaves, and finally the guest of honor leaves for Erik. But we see Erik with 16 fate versus the 8 fate from Dominic. And Erik first action buys challenger for 3 fate. Definitely a bit difficult for Dominic in this position. He flipped a Sensei, guest of honor, and Horotei, whatever her name is, the Crane champion, and buys guest of honor with 2. We see a Kazan from Erik, and both players bid 1 in the draw phase. So this is just very awkward for Dominic here, because he has to survive 2 conflicts with Rally to the Cause under his stronghold. This is a military, and actually Erik's just going very aggressive on this. It's been switched to political, and the guest of honor comes in. Now, if Erik doesn't make an action, then Kazin will be bowed. If he can't increase his political. He's probably also looking to duel guest of honor at some point, send her home, and ensure the break. Okay, so first action, sorry, the stronghold bows Kazan. We see an ornate fan come on the challenger with 3 fate. Dominic uses court games to dishonor opposing characters. Erik just dishonors his Kazan and puts another fan on. We now see breaking and a pass from Dominic. So that is the game. Very fairly quick game, but Erik definitely just kind of sent that home. The first turn, guest of honor was extremely powerful against the 43 events of Dominic, so kind of just hard countered in that regard. But still, really great play from both players. So thank you for tuning into the stream, and well done to Netherlands. They went 3-0 now against Malta, winning all 3 of their games, and I believe, yeah. So they are now done for the week. Alright, thanks guys, and catch you later.